You've done the work of gathering data, understood how it relates to your goals, and now you need to persuade someone else to take action based on the insight it's giving you. It's time to present your data. Presenting data well will help you make persuasive arguments, but it can be hard for people to understand raw numbers. Data needs analysis and interpretation to make it useful. Visualizing data helps pick out trends or patterns and makes it easier to communicate the insights in that data to other people. Here are some top tips for visualizing your data. 1. Keep it simple. Less is almost always more when you're presenting data. Focus on the most important aspect of it and show just enough information to get your point across. Here are a few things to bear in mind. Right aligning numbers in a column makes it easier to scan and compare values. Using comma separators will make large numbers easier to read. Be consistent with the number of decimal places you show. Consider rounding numbers if they're not close in value. If you're working with more than a few values, use charts and graphs to make it easier to take in information at a glance. 2. Pick the right chart for your data. Choosing the right kind of graph can really help you present data well. Bar charts are good for comparing quantities in different categories, and they emphasize the difference between things. Line charts are good for showing numbers that change over time and help to identify patterns and trends in the data. Pie charts show a contribution to a whole and are good for displaying percentages, so the segment should always add up to 100%. They get very difficult to understand when you have more than 5 or 6 segments, so consider using a bar chart if you have a lot of categories. 3. Use colour, but not too much. An easy technique is to use a colour scale to highlight values. At its simplest, colour might be an indicator that a number is less or more than a certain value. Red is bad, green is good, but remember you might be excluding people with colour blindness. It's often better to use tones of a single colour or shades of grey in a highlight colour rather than use an entire rainbow. Use colour to draw attention to the most important information, with darker tones for emphasis. The general rule is to use colour consistently and to add meaning. 4. Tell the story. Remember that presenting data is about telling a story. What's the data telling you, and how can you tell that story to your audience? You can use trend lines or indicators to make sense of more complex graphs. Show targets or year-on-year changes to give context for your numbers. Are the numbers good or bad? How are they changing? Include enough information that if someone sees your presentation without you there to explain it, they can still make a good decision based on the story your data tells. Good data visualization helps make sense of data. Good data helps us make sense of the world. As you work with your own visualizations, remember, keep it simple and focused, use colour sparingly, pick an appropriate way of displaying your data, and tell the story so that people can take action.